Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Tuesdays with Dr. T. Today I have a very interesting topic for you. Some of you might have known, I have started incorporating more scientific research into our practice and program and how I teach. Because some of us who love science or who have the background really love to nerd out onto what really is the science and research talking about certain topics and treatments and things that we do in autism. So today's topic is autism and essential oils. Some of you who have been following me for a while, you guys might have known that I use essential oils pretty much regularly for myself, my kids, for my students inside all our programs, ATS 6MD, ATS Foundations. And I also teach about the oils inside our mini course, which is a little more in depth about the essential oils that I use inside my programs for all the $7,000 programs, okay, ATS 6MD, and also for our foundations and other things, okay? So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to deep dive into the 5 essential oils that research is pretty much advanced in terms of how those 5 essential oils are used in autism. But only one or two of those oils are actually what I use inside my program, because for me, I don't want to burden the parents to buy several different things. I love shortcuts. I love simplicity. I am the queen of shortcut, by the way. I love simplicity. So what I have done is, for the oils that I use inside my programs, those are blends created by the companies. Okay, those are already pre-blended, and it really helps to pull in all the major oils that we are going to deep dive in inside. But I'm not going to talk about the 5 oils that I use inside the program. I have created one video about it in one of my previous episodes. You should go down there, and I'm going to link it in the card there as well. But what I want to say is, the 5 oils that I use inside my programs, those you can learn in mini course. Okay, and I'm going to leave the links of the mini course in the description. So without further ado, let's deep dive into essential oils and what does research say about autism and essential oils. Okay. All right, the first thing that I'm going to talk about is why essential oils are considered for autism. So essential oils, or EOs, are often used by autism parents, which helps with the child's calming, meltdown, anxiety, improving sleep, improving digestion, improving by reducing hyperactivity, reducing sensory overload. So you and me, we both know that about a majority of kids on the spectrum, autistic kids, they have a huge mother load of sensory overload. And sensory overload is also the reason why your child is a picky eater. He is not able to, feel calm and relaxed into the environment. A lot of the kids cannot wear dresses. They go nanga all over the home. Some of the kids cannot accept certain clothes on their body. Like, I remember I used to not like the texture of organza and things like that. And I was made fun of by, cousins and people in my life that I was villager. I don't know how to like posh or, how to say, like stylish dresses. For me, it has always been comfort, comfort, and comfort. Okay, I dress for comfort. Now at the age of 38, I no longer care about what others says. I know who I am, I know my needs, and I approve of them. But you, my darling, you are the mother of your child. So rather than forcing your child go through a sensory overload, you have to understand to reduce the reasons why sensory overloads happen, and you can use essential oil for that. Okay, so another reason why we use essential oils is to enhance focus. Yes, enhance focus and emotional regulation. So if your child is not focusing, he cannot learn. He cannot talk, he cannot do many of the cognitive behavioral skills that the child, a human being, a human baby needs to develop and be independent in the world. So essential oils pretty much helps with a lot of autism brain development and recovery needs. Okay. These oils are usually inhaled as an aromatherapy or sometimes put on the body. If you are putting essential oils on the body, you have to be very careful if you are diluting them properly or not. So what we do is we use fractionated coconut oil. Our students get them for free. So the first time they order, and if they order all 5 of the oils, we give them a bottle of fractionated coconut oil, which goes for months. Okay. All right. So, you know why the essential oils really help with calming anxiety, aggression, improving sleep, reducing hyperactivity, focus, and all of those things? Because essential oils work on the limbic system of the body, the brain, sorry, not the body. Limbic system of the brain. So, which is the limbic system is the key for emotional regulation and behavior. So, if your child is having a lot of behavioral issue, rather than sending them off to ABA therapy, which do not work, you should use essential oils. You will save 100. I mean, essential oil will cost about 100th of what you spend for therapies. That wouldn't work. Just saying from experience, okay? Don't bite my head off. So, the 5 essential oils that key research has proven to be helpful for autism are number 1, lavender, number 2, frankincense. We use both inside the program. Number 3, vetiver, number 4, sandalwood and cedarwood, and number 5, chamomile. Okay, so let me dive a little deeper into each one of them. The first one I want to talk about is lavender. Lavender essential oils is pretty much the most commonest essential oil that pretty much anybody who understands essential oils or have exposure to that knows that it has a calming effect. So it helps with sedation, it helps with sleep, it helps with calming, it helps with anxiety, agitation, and sleep disturbances. Okay, so what's the evidence? A 2012 review by Koulivand et al. Showed lavender oil can reduce anxiety and improve sleep. These symptoms are often comorbid in autistic individuals. So autistic individuals have sleep issues. Muhammad, God forgive, used to go to sleep at like 3 a.m. and it was so hard for us for so many years until we figured out that the best way of doing things is not just to manage but to go all in. That's what we did for him, going all in into his gut healing and brain development work. And essential oils are not going to be the full support system. Essential oils are going to be a good support system, one of the pillars that you can use as part of your child's recovery protocol. Okay. All right, so the second one is frankincense, which is also called Boswellia serrata. I forgot about the lavender. I'm sorry, lavender is called Lavandula, angustifolia, and frankincense is Boswellia serrata. So frankincense has anti-inflammatory effect, and we both know. I don't know if you really know it, but if you have been following me for a while, you will know. You should know because I teach it every single week. Your child has a lot of inflammation in his brain and his gut. Those inflammations are creating a lot of the mood and behavioral issues, and it affects the limbic system of the nervous system of the body. Okay. So, so frankincense, what it does is because it's anti-inflammatory, you can use it topically, and you can also use it, as an aromatherapy. Sometimes we do allow some oils to be taken in the mouth. I am not going to go deeper into that, but I would say the safest that you can do if you don't have a oil expert guiding you through, which our programs have. Our programs employ a oil expert who is helping us every step of the way. Our students can knock her all throughout the duration of their program, and it's not like you can talk with her one time only. No, our oil expert is always on the go. She is always available. She's always available and help our students. Okay, so that's what we try to do inside the program, bringing in as much of support as we can to ensure that you are not left alone on your own. Okay. All right. So she will be more knowledgeable. Even if you are a mini course student, we are gonna lend her over to you, and you can learn more from her whether you should put frankincense topically or on the body. And stick until the end, because I'm gonna share some free PDFs and links for you to try and learn more about the essential oils. Okay. All right. So evidence says that it's neuroprotective, and anxiolytic effects in rodents, as in rats, suggest potential for calming overstimulated nervous system. So pretty much all the neurodiverse kids, autistic kids, ADHD kids on the spectrum, have some form of nervous system dysregulation. Almost always it's overstimulation, because the world in itself has so many, so many informations bombarding our nervous system. And if our nervous system is already overwired due to trauma, due to inflammation, due to stored toxins in the body, sensory overload, and all of those things, then it is very essential to work on calming down the nervous system. That is how you can regulate. You can help your child regulate their moods and behavior, focus, and all of those things that I was talking about. Okay. So the third oil that is really helpful and research has proven is vetiver. So vetiver effect is it improves focus, which is very important for learning, and it also reduces hyperactivity. So evidence says a small pilot study by Dr. Terry Friedman on 2001 on children with ADHD, not autism specifically, but he tested with ADHD. And by the way, ADHD is part of the spectrum, showed vetiver improved performance in attention tests. Okay. So due to overlapping features in autism and ADHD, like inattention and impulsivity, some autism parents have tried it with success. It works. Okay. The fourth oil is cedarwood and sandalwood. So effect is grounding, calming oil used in sensory regulation and emotional support. Sensory regulation and emotional support. So what does evidence say? Evidence in a clinical trials are lacking, because most people don't want to work on things that are actually easy and affordable for parents or are good for the body. Research is often funded by large pharmas, and large pharmas want to sell and peddle their own medicine. So most of the research that independent small labs are doing, they're doing out of their own pocket. I was one of them, so I know. Okay, all the grant mess and networking that you need to do to ensure that you get the grant so that you can support your PhD students and master students and things like that. Okay. So the clinical trials are lacking, but it should not stop you from using or finding solutions. You know why? Because most clinical studies done are often for drugs. Okay. Clinical trials need about $8 billion per medicine or ailment or anything that you want to test. Do you think any company in the world would like to spend $8 billion if it's not their own product? The company needs to be a billionaire to be to be able to fund clinical trials. Okay. So for you and me, us who are on the journey to find solutions rather than always finding a reason why it should not work because science is not proving it, there is proof. But what I would suggest is, why not experiment? Why not try? So a lot of the time, a lot of the parents, they put 100% of their expectations on a certain thing that they are trying. And when it does not reciprocate the 100% of the intention, then they start thinking that it's not working or it's worthless or things like that, whatever you guys are thinking about it. For me, I would say don't put your 100% on just one part of the protocol, because every autistic brain needs 5 pillars. So working on all the 5 pillars, it's going to really help your child to benefit and get the results out of anything that you are using to support the protocol. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. So cedarwood and sandalwood have been actually used for many, many years, for thousands of years in traditional medicinal system. So it is something that is calming and it is nervous system regulating, and you can definitely try and use it. Okay, so evidence is not clinical trials, but EEG studies have shown that brainwave modulation effects was supporting their role in calming the nervous system. So that means the child's nervous system were actually tested with EEG and found that when the child was being given cedarwood and sandalwood, the child's nervous system outputs have changed into more grounded, more emotionally regulated. Okay, I would definitely want you to try that. The fifth and last oil that I'm going to talk about is chamomile, which is Matricaria recutita or Roman chamomile. So not all chamomiles are same. There are the cheaper one is Egyptian chamomile, and you can use it for tea, but it is milder in potency. The one that we suggest is Roman chamomile, and it has the effect of calming and anti-anxiety. By the way, all of these oils are also great for the mothers, because I have never seen an autism mom who is not stressed or upset or depressed or going through some form of emotional upheaval. It's possible. Okay, so it has been used for centuries for nervous system issues. Some evidence supports that it is used in anxiety reduction in child. So yes, you should definitely try one of these 5 oils, and the best company for that is doTERRA in my experience, because doTERRA oils are a lot more tested scientifically. They test their own oils via third party. They ensure that you are getting the most potent oil, and they're also big on customer support. There are lots and lots of free calls and events that doTERRA is always creating for the clients and customers. And I'm going to leave the links of everything that I have on my hand on essential oils, so that you can start recovering your child's developmental delays, recovery sensory overload, let them get into more focused, the hyperactivity reduced or gone, all of those things you can. So here are some tips on the safety of how to use essential oils. Okay, so you should use caution when you are doing essential oils, because they are pretty concentrated. If you do directly, then it's gonna cause irritation. Okay, so because it is very concentrated, you should do a patch test first on one part of the skin to see if the child is not allergic to that oil. Always dilute with a carrier oil. Like I said before, we use coconut oil, and our students or anybody who uses my link and order sufficient amounts of oil, so we gift them free of these things. Okay, the coconut oil for free. The third thing that you need to remember is diffuse for short durations, especially around sensitive children. So you should not diffuse for hours and hours, like 8 hours, 10 hours you are diffusing the same oil. It's going to lose a little bit of its potency as well. So diffuse for short duration. So for example, you are seeing your child is a little out of order, hyperactivity, like running around and being very nervous and whatnot. Diffuse an oil, put a few drops in your hand or the child's hand, and let them rub and sniff, really invigoratingly sniff all over your lungs, and take the fullest amount of breath that you can and relax and let go of the exhalation. That way also the aromatherapy is going to work. The fourth thing that you need to remember is avoid ingestion unless it is noted or said by your professional. So there are a few oils that we use, by mouth to make it more effective, and you will be able to learn of the specific ones that we use. Okay, when you join the mini course, and it's just $37. Okay, you can join it. It's very easy to join. After that, what we're going to do is we are going to borrow. You can borrow our our expert, oil expert, and she's going to guide you through. With mini course, you will also get introduction to all of our 5 pillars in ways and in training format, which is not shared in public. You will not see those videos in my YouTube channel. And you will also get knowledge about the kind of detox that we do, heavy metal detox using oils, heavy metal detox using supplements. All of those things you can learn when you join the mini course, and it's only $37. Okay. So the last thing that as a safety protocol that you have to follow is watch for sensory triggers. So not all children can tolerate strong smells. Sometimes I have seen it happen to 2 or 3 kids, 2 or 3 out of the 400 that I worked with, that they say that a specific oil was, they have seen that the specific oil was making the child more anxious or hyperactive, which I realized is because that is too strong for the child. And initially, those 3 kids showed that effect, but after a couple of months of the gut healing protocol, as the sensory overload was reducing from the inside, they were able to use the same oils with the proper guidance and with the results that we were employing and thinking about. Okay. All right. So here's the thing. Essential oils can be like, a part of management, and it is also, but it's not a cure. That's something that I have to keep saying. It's not a cure for the real recovery. For real recovery to happen, your child needs to have the 5 pillars implemented in and incorporated into their lifestyle. There has to be the mother whose nervous system is regulated, whose trauma is healed, because if you haven't healed your trauma, your child is storing those trauma as well. When you let go of your trauma, your child can let go of the stored trauma inside their body that they have gotten through generational pattern of DNA, passing out the DNA. Just like you pass on other genetic diseases, you can pass on trauma as well. Okay. And another thing that has to be really put inside your brain is there has to be some testing that needed to be done. Yes, you can buy an oil and your child might be might not act to it or like it. You can use several ways to incorporate that oil. And if you buy one oil, it actually goes several months. You don't have to buy oils on repeat. Okay. But there will be some oils that you love so much, your child benefits so much that you might finish the small 10 ml bottle within 1 or 2 months. But generally speaking, what I have seen is it takes about like 2 months for 6 months for me to go through one 15 ml bottle of essential oil. Anyway, so that was all about what research says about autism and essential oils. If you are interested to know exactly the oils that I use for my program, for my students, and get the bonuses, the classes, and the option to be guided properly by a supervisor who is an expert of essential oils, then go to the link in the description. It will be called Join Mini Course, and join the mini course and you will get all of those access. As a freebie that I did mention, I'm going to share the oil links, okay, in the description as well. Check that out. But I would say the best thing for you to do is join the mini course. It's only $37 and you can learn so much about the real autism development that you should know. And most of the people who joined mini course, they have told me that our mini course, even though it's mini in name, it's actually pretty extensive, and it's the best $37 that they have ever spent for autism. How cool is that? So I will see you in the next episode. Until then, Allah Hafiz. Oh, by the way, last thing. Please remember to register for the upcoming webinar, and I'm going to teach you the 3 steps to get to autism recovery. And it's going to happen on the 24th of June, inshallah, at 11 a.m. Do register, and I will see you inside the webinar. Allah Hafiz.